Hey guys, welcome back again to our YouTube channel. Is that word? Okay. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be like a yearly tradition that we do. We did it last year, so we're going to keep that trend going this year, and we're going to do like a quick recap of 2023 in a nutshell, but kind of dive into each competition a little bit. We won't spend too much time on it, but yeah, it was a very busy season for me, so let's get started. Kicking it off, I went to the Arnold Amateur World Championships again this year. Last year I placed seventh, so that meant I got an invite again to this year. So the goal is to improve on that, and I did slightly. So yeah, it looks like silver, but it's not. I came home with fifth place this year. It was a very stacked group. The winner, Oscar Zukowski, and runner-up, Lucas Hatton, America's Strongest Man this year. So, like, very good competition. Um, Not the greatest of set events for me, but hey, I improved on my placing. That's all you could really ask for. That was the last time I get to do that competition until I get an invite to the Arnold Pro one day. Hopefully, that's the goal. So that kick started our year. Okay, moving on to the next competition was a grip competition. It was the spring clench competition in Calgary. We had myself, good guys like I think Tristan did it. I think Tristan did it. Ryan Jabs, Brad Provic, and Eric Roussan coming out from Ontario or Ottawa, sorry, who's a very, very well known and established grip sport champion of his weight classes many, many years. But I walked away with first place in that. Good set of events for me. One was like a max crusher, which was on a dial, and I think I hit like 270 pounds on my one attempt, and I think the Canadian record is like 280, 285, and he spiked it, which you can kind of get a little bit of higher numbers, but ours was a very strict, straight 90-degree arm crush, and I hit 270-pound crushing strength. So kind of a fun competition, and walking away with first place is always good. And then that led into my third competition of the year, which was a strongman competition, hosted by my good friend Colton Sloan out in his hometown, St. Paul, Alberta. We had guys from BC, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Quebec. So it was a pretty good, well rounded roster. And you could see I started off, and this was a circuit competition. So the circuit that JF runs, and I walked away with first place. So pretty happy with that one because I beat guys like Gabe Rayum, who was World's Strongest Man finalist. He's also been Canada's Strongest Man. Simone Pratt, who later on this year won Canada's Strongest Man. So very, very good competition. Very, very tight points wise. I think I literally snuck in last minute and won it on the stones. Um, and Tristan got second, and he was a very, very close competition all weekend or for that day. So that was a fun way to start off the strongman competition for the circuit this year. The next competition on the book was Rumble in the Valley, I believe, hosted by my friend Tyler Sigerson out of Manitoba. It was a pro-am. I think me and Tyler were the only pros that were actually there. But again, it was a fun set of events and events that I've never done before, like the Hercules hold, um, dock walk into a power stair, which is an event I've never done before. And there was a max log press. So at the time, I was kind of peaking for a max log for that competition because I didn't really know where my true max was. Um, I had a comfortable 340 in the competition, but no one else was there to challenge me any further, so I stopped there. I don't know how much more I had, but it's always fun to kind of push yourself on a max event and get to try out new events. Um, with that being said, I got another gold first place trophy for that, and then I also won a pretty good bit of cash actually for both Farm Strong. I walked away with almost $2,000. So thank you, Colton, for those for that prize money and the extra bonus for the stones. You'll have to edit that to that part, right? But yeah, this was the Royal the Rumble in the Valley was a Strongman Corp Canada Pro Am competition. So I think I walked away with like $1,000 there. So That was a fun competition, good events, and a big showing from a lot of amateurs that were willing to step up to the competition. So that's always good to see too, because sometimes they see the heavy weights and kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not ready, but you've seen a lot of them step up to the plate, and it was pretty cool to see. Following the Manitoba show was Western Canada Strongest Man. So that obviously is like the biggest competition that anyone can do and prep for in the West for the summer. Coming into Westerns, I had high expectations for myself, and my goal was to simply win it. Like I wasn't there for second place again, like I was last year. I put a lot of work into that prep. I was feeling strong, feeling good. It was, I think, 8 events over 2 days, so it was a hard competition. I walked away with the win. I forget the points overall, but I think I started the competition with a truck pull, which there's a Superior was a sponsor, and they actually had this nice little trophy for the fastest truck pull time, and I won that, which was the first event, and it set the pace for the rest of the competition. I honestly don't think I was out of first place for the whole competition. I was either tied with someone in first or I shared it solely. I just had to come in event after event, just do what I did in training, and yeah, I became the first guy since Scott Cumming to win Western Canada Strongest Man that was from Saskatchewan. So I'm very, very proud of that. Um, it's kind of it's very meaningful because it's the biggest competition you could do in Western Canada anyways. It holds a lot of merit, and you can walk around proudly saying that you're the strongest man in Western Canada. And there's no denying that. There's no arguing that because you had the best guys show up. It was open to everyone. So literally the best guys decided to show up and put on a performance. And at the end of the day, I walked away with first place. And now my goal is to win it again next year, and go back to back, which hasn't been done since I think 2017 from James Loach from Alberta. Um, so that's another side challenge for next year. But it's getting very, very competitive year after year. There's two more pro guys on the roster in Western Canada. So it's getting more competitive. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for anyone. So we really got our work cut out. But at the end of the day, they're coming to try and take what's mine. And I'm just going to try and defend it again next year. So after Western Canada Strongest Man, it was a competition I didn't really plan on doing, but I kind of signed up last minute because it's always a fun competition. It's in a great little village, I would say, of Gimli, Manitoba, and that's the Magnus Classic Canadian qualifier. So um, I won that competition last year, and as you can see, I got second place this year. So I came up a little shy. Tristan edged me out that weekend, but I still managed second place. Um, I'm still proud of that. It's easy to get wrapped up in not winning, but I mean, second place against Tristan, who had a very, very good day. He had a very good performance. So I'm happy with that. It's always a good time seeing Magnus. He comes over and he's the head judge for the competition. So yeah, the Gimli qualifier qualifies you for the Magnus for Magnus competition in Iceland, which myself and Colton went to last year. And then this year, Tristan, who won Gimli, went on to compete at Iceland, where he ended up winning the whole thing. So he is the 2023 Magnus Classic champion, um, who's the second Canadian to win that competition. So I think it's safe to say that if they see Canadians on the roster, they're probably a little nervous that they're coming to win it all. So if all goes well, I will be back there next year to try and compete there again. I'm going to a Magnus qualifier in February, actually. So in a couple months, I'm going to New Brunswick for a competition there, but we could talk about that at a later time. After Gimli, literally, so all these, the Gimli, Saskatchewan Strongest Man, the Shaw Classic, and Canada Strongest Man were all in August. So I had four competitions in the month of August, week after week after week after week. So not ideal. Wasn't prepped for any of them. You just show up as best you can, show up ready for anything, and just let the cards fall where they may. And so after Gimli was Saskatchewan Strongest Man, where as you can see, I mean, I don't know if you can see, like 50 pounds actually. It's I got second place. So not the place I wanted because last year I won it. So I was defending my title. I have some things to say about the competition. It was more of a CrossFit show, but we'll just leave it at that. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to do both. Be statically strong and still be athletic and move and do the events where maybe being bigger isn't an advantage. But at the end of the day, I still walked away with second place with a pretty cool trophy. Um, and shout out to Isaac for beating me last minute. He signed up the morning of, but good for him. After Saskatchewan Strongest Man, we drove down to Colorado to the Shaw Classic, which I had to qualify for online. Again, it was like max effort lifts to qualify, but I was able to make the top 16. So, I mean, the goal for the Shaw Classic was to be in the top half because it was very stacked, like very, very, very strong guys, heavy events. And it's no joke because the winner of that gets to go to the Shaw Classic Open or the Strongest Man on Earth now. So, um, pretty cool events. We got to use the same Atlas stones as the pro men, so we kind of got to see where we ranked with the best in the world. Like literally the same stones, same height as Tom Stoltman and Brian Shaw got to use. So, um, that was a pretty cool event that I liked the best. And then just the atmosphere there, watching Brian Shaw compete in his last competition, and then he retired. I don't think there was a dry eye in the house really. Like Keelan was crying like a baby, and he was standing on top of the power stairs giving his speech. So it was pretty cool to take in. And then after the competition, he came in the back, shook all of our hands, gave us a hug. So it was a pretty surreal moment for me, and one that I'll never forget. So um, since I made the top 10, well, technically second to 11th this year, get an automatic invite next year. So I don't have to qualify. I already got a spot. So that's probably going to be in August again next year. So I'm looking forward to that one again. Awesome events. We were treated very well. They had a very good recovery team there. Ice baths, hot tubs, you name it, it was there. All the energy drinks you can drink. So we were buzzing the whole weekend. So the weekend after the Shaw Classic was Canada Strongest Man. So I qualified for that competition last year as well, where I placed eighth, I think. I think I got eighth in 2022. I think I did. So this year, it is a Canada Strongest Man is like one of the most gruesomest competitions in the world because it's usually 2 or 3 days long outside in the dirt in the rodeo grounds. It was raining one day, muddy the next day, so it's very difficult conditions to compete in. But you just show up, and the strongest man will win. So it was pretty cool events, good venue. I walked away with fifth place. So I improved on my placing from last year, and that's pretty much all I can ask for. Couple small little mistakes away from podium. So yeah, next year the goal is to get on that podium and potentially even win Canada Strongest Man. It's a big it's a big undertaking, but I know if I keep putting in the work, I can get there. So I'm excited to see how next year will go at Canada Strongest Man. So after Canada Strongest Man, that was the end of August. I had to get my max effort lifts in to qualify for OSG, which was the next competition. So work wise, I had a 3 week long shutdown in September. So I didn't really get to train much, but I knew I was qualified for OSG, the official Strongman Games. So I had a pretty good prep for OSG, kind of dealing with nagging injuries here and there, tweaked wrist and sore elbows. But I mean, we're all in the same boat. We're all injured in some sort of way. You just have to find a way to work around it. So it was a good prep. I was excited for OSG because I've never been there before, and you can't argue that if you podium at OSG, you're not one of the best in the world. You look at guys who have won it before or on the podium. You have like Trey Mitchell, I think Bobby Thompson maybe did, Kevin Ferris, Spencer Remick, Pavlo Kordiaka. Like all these guys are now constantly at Giants Live, and they're constantly at World's Strongest Man or the Arnold or Rogue. So OSG is seriously the the hardest competition I'd say to ever podium in the calendar year. You have about 30 to 50 guys who are like just about at that level to jump up to Giants Live. They just have to put on a performance to show that, and that's what we're all fighting for, the same chance to get to Giants Live. So OSG is a very hard competition to podium at, but I was excited to go there for the first time. I hit some PRs there. I had a couple good performances. I got second place in an event. I made the finals, which was the goal, just to make the finals. And I ended up walking away with a fifth place overall placing, and top 10 got these nice little bronze or copper trophies. So, or medal. It was pretty cool experience. They had a very good recovery team there. I think they had like three chiropractors, three massage therapists, body tempering, IV drops, like you name it, they were there. It was hard, long days, a lot of athletes, but I'm excited for next year because getting fifth place just goes to show, hey, I'm only two spots away of making podium, and if I get even third place, you get an invite to Giants Live the next year. So the biggest goal for next year is to podium at OSG. So I know I could do that. I'm happy with top five this year, and excited to take a little bit of a off season. I was planning on not competing until July of next year, but I got invited to a show in New Brunswick in February, so it's the day before my birthday, so why not have some fun? Go out to the East Coast. It's outside, so it's going to be very hard and cold, and we're doing Hercules hold outside in the winter, but it'll be fun. Get to see the guys again, and yeah, that wraps up the 2023 competitive season for me. It's been a very busy one. Lots of traveling, lots of flying, lots of hotels, lots of food, lots of laughs, new friends, old friends. And that's the best part of the sport, is that you get to make so many memories with your partner and your friends. So I'm excited to see what 2024 has in store for us. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow our journey, and you'll see where this train rolls into in 2024.